That's so amazing.
For someone who claims to be a lifelong Yankees fan, it took me an awfully long time to finally make my way to Monument Park. There's no particular reason for that, it just didn't happen sooner. I guess I just never made it a priority. However, when Julian, my dad, and I made our way to the stadium a few hours before game time on August 19th, to make sure we got our talking John Sterling and Susan Waldman bobbleheads, of course, it seemed like the perfect opportunity to finally see what I'd been missing. And since my dad hadn't been before either, well, two birds with one baseball, you know? That metaphor didn't work too well, but I'm going with it anyway. My verdict? It was fun. It's not something that has to be a before every game tradition or something, but it was worth seeing at least once. The thing is, it's not a museum or anything. It's just plaques commemorating some of the most important figures in Yankee history, and a display of retired uniform numbers. But it's not like it's full of game-worn uniforms and home run balls. Those are upstairs. In a way, it's kind of like a miniature and less thrilling version of Old Timers Day. The old favorites are all there, but it's just not the same as seeing them in person, even if in person means from the nosebleed seats. Given the choice of seeing plaques of all your favorites versus seeing only a few of your favorites but in real life, I'd take the latter every time. But there's certainly some interesting history there. Number 8 was retired twice, once for Bill Dickey and again for Yogi Berra. 42 also shows up twice, having been retired across the entire sport in honor of Jackie Robinson, and then again by the Yankees individually for Mariano Rivera, who was grandfathered in during the first retirement, having been wearing the number already. There's a plaque dedicated in commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall Riot, which was a bit surprising, not because I expected the franchise to be anything less than inclusive, but because it doesn't have anything to do with baseball. That's not to say I'm not happy to see the show of support, token effort though it may be. Just surprised. Ultimately, I'm glad we went. It was a fun experience, and it gave me something positive to look back on. Given the absolutely depressing display the Yankees put on that night, and my less than pleasant train ride home, at least I can say I got a cool bobblehead and some good memories before the game started. Would I visit again? Probably, if for nothing else than to see any new additions, like Paul O'Neill's plaque, which we were a couple of days too early for. But, at least for me, I think the most interesting things to see in the ballpark are on the diamond, at least when your team is in top form. I'm not still better. Nope, not me.